It's not a puff and it's not a flake. It's more than both of those.
The greatest name in cereals.
Team, welcome to another edition of Serial Trash Talking. It is Rob, it's DA. We are continuing our season in review of the 2025 NFL season, and we're looking at our teams, the Patriots and the Cowboys. We've done the previous episode on the Patriots, and now it's time to look at the Cowboys. Rob, I would say a season that started with quite lofty expectations and really expectations that needed to be delivered on. A lot of money was handed out last season. A lot of money is going to be handed out this off season.
Yeah.
And again, you just didn't deliver. Obviously, for a number of reasons. Obviously, injuries to key players.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly it. There, you just got to sum it up in that same very frame. It's not good enough. We finished with a 7-10 record. We've missed the playoffs in what you would consider our Super Bowl window. We've had the last 5 years now. Big Mike's been in. He's gone. He's had 12 plus win seasons. We've made it to the playoffs, and we amount to 1 win. Yeah. So, how good is that? A couple of things that have derailed us that you've touched on is injuries. Not ideal. Contract negotiations, prolonging into the season, paying late, overpaying. Now what you end up with is Dak Prescott, the highest paid quarterback in the league, CeeDee Lamb, near enough the highest paid wide receiver in the league, and getting hit with a massive cap hit in 2024 and a 45% cap hit in 25. But who knows? Maybe we won't even pay Micah Parsons. So it's all happening with the Cowboys.
So on the money side of things, do you think that CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott are worthy of the money that they're being paid?
No, you can't. CeeDee's closer to it than Dak Prescott is. But at the end of the day, how can you be paying Dak Prescott more than Patrick Mahomes? Like, how does this life work? When you just can't understand it. He can't stay healthy. He might, whatever it be, but statistically, he's a top 10 quarterback in the league. But you wouldn't believe it.
No.
Hey,
No.
so you just can't pay him
because he
$60
can't
million a
stay on the
season.
field.
Exactly. So that doesn't help. The biggest problems are, right, and we noted this down, Jerry's losing his mind. We're never going to win again. The number one priority of the Cowboys franchise is money, notoriety, being the most popular franchise. And, to be fair, when you can do that and not win, it's pretty bloody fantastic. One of the most damning stats that came out, and it was made even more relevant because we now hold the title, but we are now the last. We have the longest streak now of not making an NFC championship game. The Commanders made it this year, and their last one was in 92.
Wow.
Now it's the Cowboys who hold the record, because the Cowboys have not been to an NFC championship game since 1995.
Their last appearance in a Super Bowl was that year. The Patriots have won 6 Super Bowls in that time frame.
What do you do? How do you follow that up? Like,
well, you
the
try
most valuable franchise, the franchise that everybody knows.
But this is why the Cowboys are so hated, because they have a slightly older owner.
Slightly older.
Who is losing his
80
mind.
years old. Yeah, 80 years old.
And it's all just a marketing play.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. I mean, and I think this is where I think, personally, the Cowboys are losing it, is that they're a team built on money, and not that other organizations aren't built on money, but they're selfish players. They're selfish in the terms is that they're going for the bag. look at the organizations that have had success, who have won Super Bowls consistently or appeared in Super Bowls consistently.
Yeah.
I think the only team at this stage to buck that trend would be the Eagles. Oh, so the Patriots.
Yeah.
Tom Brady everyone was taking haircuts.
Took a pay cut, yeah.
People were taking pay cuts to go to New England to win a chip.
Yeah.
Exact same things happening now at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I would say the exception to those teams, or that have had prolonged success, Eagles, where you haven't had to pay a quarterback straight off the bat.
Yeah, they haven't paid anyone.
And the 49ers, where you've got Mr. Irrelevant as your QB, and you're paying him next to nothing. Being able to play the people around him.
Yep.
And that's going to be, they're going to have to address that. But I think that's the problem with the Cowboys. You hit on the numbers before. You're paying Dak astronomical amounts of money. And CD, and they're
It's
not...
heartbreaking.
They aren't...
It's not performing to their level and their expectations.
I think Dak is quality. And the league requires quality quarterbacks to be successful. But I don't think CD... I think wide receivers are a dime a dozen. I think there are so many other wide receivers you could get in there for cheaper that would still perform.
Statistically, though, he's top 5.
But, I mean, who else do the Cowboys have?
It's pretty limited. Yeah. Well, to be fair, we've got Brandon Cooks as well, but he can't stay healthy.
No.
Um,
But it's all about trust, right?
That's
The
limited.
QB, the QB wide receiver relationship is all built on trust.
yeah, and at the end of the day, they can't stay healthy, right? They're not on the field. Best ability is availability. So we've got that major issues. We've got a defensive side of the ball that's struggling as well. And this is the other part that gets me, DA. Our defensive coordinator and our offensive coordinator. Our D coordinator was Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn goes and takes a head coaching job at the Commanders. Where are the Commanders? End up in the NFC Championship game. Kellen Moore goes and takes the OC job with the Eagles. Where are the Eagles? They're in the Super Bowl. Big Mike's now gone. And now we got Brian Schottenheimer as our new head coach leading into the new year. So, what's going on? I mentioned this to DA one of the other days when we were having our own in-depth discussions on the future. And Cowboys aren't going to win anything while Jerry's alive. And that's just the way it is. Yep. Steven, do something about it, bro. Take over, do something. Because you've clearly not had success, or we've not had success in 30 years. So something's got to change. And Jerry ain't going to give it up. But what do you do, So if your question's going to be, okay, what does the future look like and what's our division look like? So 2 of our division running mates just appeared in the NFC Championship game. That does not bode well for us. No. Okay? Giants are clearly rebuilding, probably have a new quarterback. They've still got Brian Dable, still got their GM. Theoretically, Brian Dable's been a good coach, so the division's quite strong. So that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all.
Not a good sign. We touched on 45% of the cap's going to 2 players. That's before paying Micah leading forward. And then we just got to pay Diggs. And this is drowning. This is self-deprecating drowning. I'd rather be in your position where everybody's rubbish. Yeah? What's the point of having stars to wear the star and not be stars?
You know what? I think, though, I think one piece, so I think Kellen Moore and his success that he's having at the Eagles doesn't, you can't hinge that on one. You can't say that he's the reason for that. And I think you look at, don't discount his ability. Yeah. But, he's not everything. Same with Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was part of one of the greatest Super Bowls in the history of Super Bowls, albeit on the wrong side. Did I mention the 28-3? Yeah.
Once or twice.
But I think what disgusts me more than anything is how that whole Mike McCarthy's sacking went.
You mean as in the timing or the Big Mike win?
Yeah. I think the fact that Big Mike went, Big Mike's awesome. But I think that the timing of it was terrible. You blew your window to speak to quality coaches rather, and you landed with someone who no one expected was even in the coaching carousel. That
was one of the best bits of punditry. Yeah, you go out and hire him, but why are we hiring a coach that nobody wants?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Hey, we could be great.
You could be great. Could be great.
So,
How do you feel? How do you feel about this season? Summation of this season, and how do you feel about next season?
another wasted season with top draw talent, and optimism is low moving forward, especially 25 because the cap hits are astronomical. Restructuring needs to occur, better spread of funding needs to occur, and that's all new information to come. And then we need to draft well, pick up some free agents, and then have a competitive team. That seems to be the blueprint that's going to happen over the coming months.
Yeah.
But in saying that, optimism is low. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, so Rob, what's the serial thought? What do you want to leave our listeners with, our viewers with?
Will the Cowboys only win a Super Bowl once Jerry is gone?
Well, you tell us your thoughts. Thank you for joining us once again. We've enjoyed making this video. Hope you enjoyed watching. We'll see you next time.